said grime is dead, and you're not producing no more grime beats anymore.
Yeah.
So, what is your view on grime at the moment? And do you think grime is dead? Just be 100% honest.
Do I think Grime is dead? For me,
Yeah, just
like
be
if
honest,
you
because
are,
you
as I said to you earlier, like the Grime is dead conversation is one that is like it's it's a conversation that is like, well,
no, because the thing is, you said it though.
yeah,
You
like
you
to me,
said
yeah, like, but as I said, that's my opinion.
yeah, but it's just your opinion though. It's
To
just
me,
your
yeah,
opinion.
to
That's
me,
what I'm
like,
saying.
I don't like. For me,
It doesn't mean grime
I
in
don't wake up
general
and
is
think
dead.
about grime no more, and I'm not someone who tunes in to look for grime artists. So to me, yeah, the genre doesn't have much weight for me. But at the same time,
So okay, so for you in for you as a person, grime is dead for you. You ain't really in that scene no more. You're not
I'm not a
really
person.
looking for that.
I'm not a person that's indulged in the grime scene. Me personally, yeah.
Okay, so for you, you're saying for you personally, grime is dead.
For me personally, I'm not indulged
Not
in
in
it.
general, but for you personally, grime is dead.
For me personally, like I've just given my contribution to grime. That's the most I do, bro. Do you get me? I've just
No, but just say it though. Just say it though. From you
But I can't.
personally,
But I'm
grime
not gonna
is
say
dead.
to you. I'm not gonna say to you, grime is dead. I'm gonna say to
It's not
you.
dead. I don't mean it in that way though. I'm just
Oh,
saying for
to me
you.
personally, yeah. To me personally, I'm not a fan of grime in it. Like, grime isn't alive for me personally, innit? For
Okay,
me
so grime is
personally,
not alive for you
yeah, it's
personally.
not for
Okay.
me personally until I see something, until I see other stuff for me personally. But that doesn't mean that a big grime record won't pop in the next 3 months based on all the hype that's building up from now. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm. Okay, and all this hype that is building from grime,
Yeah.
where has it come from? I just want to know.
Where does it all stem from?
Hmm.
Bro, I've been using my socials for a week, bro. I can't really highlight that, but I'm sure that you've had something to do with everyone riled up in grime. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm. Okay. And what is your thoughts on the grime scene at the moment? Your grime scene at the moment. What is your honest thoughts on it at the moment?
From what I've seen
Hmm.
in the last week, everyone seems to be getting active. So it must mean something good. Everyone seems to be engaging with each other and getting active. So that must be something good.
Hmm.
Do you get me? So
So
yeah.
why do you think it's not at the place where it used to be?
Why do I think? Because there's a lot of things to there's a lot of things to account for that. The culture, remember, like the culture, they're not being a place where all grime artists would go. Like back in the day, bro, there was like Uptown Records where grime artists would all go down, put their mixtapes in there, do sets. There was Rhythm Division where everyone could go and get the latest
But
vinyl.
mate, today there's places where grime artists can go. Like you've got like what people kept saying that what TV,
No,
you've
the
got Pyro
culture's different,
Radio and all of
but
that.
as the culture is different now. The culture is different compared to what it was. Like now, no one doesn't have to go to a house and has their Spotify. It's a bit. This is like it's different now. But as a whole, from what I see, just the culture's changed. So where the culture's changed and the sound has changed a lot. There's a lot to talk on. There's you can talk on the fact that music's different. The way that like even spitting how grime MCs have spat for me in my view, it's never been popular worldwide. Whereas Migos coming and spitting in triplets has changed the whole world to make people rap in a particular style and way. So
Mm.
there's
I know, but that's got nothing to do with the grime MCs of today because what a lot of people are saying is the new grime MCs, a lot of them, they're basically trying to copy the guys from back then. They're on the nostalgia thing. They're trying to sound like how the MCs were spitting back then and they're trying to copy them and it's not really banging. So people are thinking like, you know what, like it's dead. Like, that's what a lot of people are saying.
like people's craft when they hit the studio is different. Do you get me? Like when I hit the studio, people's craft, their actual craft, how they write, how they put their views across, what they do, what like the beats they hit, the sound selection they're going for. It, everyone's different. So for me, when I hit the music, I'm trying to find something. For example, when I was doing grime, I was trying to find something that pleases the ear in many different ways. Whereas a lot of people, I've heard a lot of songs where man just go to the studio and it just there's no it's just a straight line on the subject of the track. It's just beginning and ends. There's nothing to grow, like to the musical experience isn't amazing. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's a lot to
Mm.
be said for what goes down in the studio. There's a lot to be said for mix downs. There's a lot to be said for promotion. There's a lot to be said for the actual scene. There's a lot to be said for gatekeepers and the narrative of what music
So
is.
you believe that there is gatekeepers then in the
Oh,
grime scene?
bro, there's of course there's gatekeepers in every scene. Do you know what I mean? But like honestly, it might not be so apparent now, but back a day, it was kind of apparent. Like
No,
if
because when I was saying that, oh, people are gatekeepers and that, people are laughing at me like, how's there gatekeepers
like
in grime? And sorry, but there is gatekeepers, in
I
it.
put I put
You there's gatekeepers, and a lot of you man are
I'll
gatekeepers,
put
in
it
it.
I'll put it like this, yeah. I'll put it like this. We've come from a time where no one had their business on point. So at a time when no one had their business on point, and it's only a few grime heads who actually understand the ins and outs of business, it's allowed them to rise their brand because everyone is a brand. It's allowed them to rise their brand to a particular level based on the insights they know about the business of music, not just music and sending it to
Mm,
a DJ. So as time has gone on, people have learned how to monetize their music more. People have made different connections. You can push their music into a different place. But on the subject of
mm,
time, the people who were doing it first are the people who were doing it first are usually the people who, till this day, will keep the same formula that allows them to get their music into a certain place. So where other people are coming on, they might not be as known or as respected as these acts. It's like, well, if we had a wireless show, for example, it's like, well, I can put on this grandma who everyone knows, or I can put on this one who's on the come up who might not be as big. The
mm,
likely chances the big act's going to get chosen, and that's due to their work rate and what they've done within the industry over a good space of time. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
So like even down to the gatekeepers of grime, there's people back in the day who would only promote negative grime music. And there was
mm,
much more than negative grime music, but the agenda is now we promote the smash bang, knock your head out, rather than
mm,
people who are actually doing conscious stuff. There's artists in the
mm,
UK who are big in so many different countries, but
mm,
aren't big here based on the fact that the narrative is that it's who we want in the scene. Do you know what I mean? And
mm,
and there's gatekeepers as if there's gatekeepers in every scene. There's politics in every scene, and there's
mm,
always going to be someone who is paying someone's mortgage more than someone else. So let's push that person. Do you understand what I'm
mm,
saying to you? And that's the
mm,
game, bro. That's the game. There's plants. There's industry plants. There's people who come up
mm.
of a straight fan base. There's people who come up with a promotion push.
Do you reckon RD? Do you reckon RD is an industry plant?
No, because and the reason why I don't is because he's got versatile behind him, and
Do you reckon Central Seas is an industry plant?
I don't reckon Central C's an industry plant, but
So
he's
what would
definitely
be an
got
example
his
for an
like
industry plant in in today's day? Who could you name us as an
I
example?
can't name you anyone in England who's an industry plant. I can name you people
That
who
is an
I
industry
can name you
plant.
people who I know there were talks about before they released the song. Like there were many talks about, i.e. Stormzy and people like that. There was talks about them in radio stations, and DJs are saying, "Yo, this is the person we've got to push before they've even released the record." So
Mm.
there are people who potentially could be plants because of things I've heard
So
about.
you're saying that. So you're saying potentially Stormzy is an industry plant or could have
Potentially,
been an
yeah,
industry plant.
100%. Before Stormzy released
So,
that, before this is I don't know if this is news to everyone else, but before.
okay. Do you reckon Stormzy is an industry plant? Yes or no? Be honest, bro.
Potentially. And the only reason I'm saying potentially is because before anything came out, I've sat down in One Extra or I've sat down with DJ Cameo and he's like, yeah, I just in the meeting today we was talking about this artist. What's his name? Blah blah blah. Oh, who's that? I don't know who that is. Oh, okay, well, yeah, we've been told we've got to push his thing.
Mm.
That's something I've witnessed, but that doesn't mean that
So okay. So basically, you reckon my man's an industry plant then?
bro, I've just told you what I've told you.
Mm.
To the start.
No, but just to summarize it, you reckon my man's
To
an industry
summarize it,
plant.
bro, I did summarize it. I actually did. I
Mm,
did. I did. I gave you an example of some. I gave you an example of someone who could potentially be based on
mm,
particular things. But for me to say this
okay.
person's a this and that person's a that, I can't talk on.
Mm,
And there's not,
mm,
and that's not just me highlighting one. That's not me just putting it on my man. There's other people who
mm.
potentially
Like who?
deserve.
Like you? Like you? Like you?
Like you've asked me like the central CEO of this one, potentially, who knows? Do you understand? But there are teams behind people that allow them to get to a bigger space. Do you know what I mean? So
No, but RD, he went viral off that one song,
I
and
wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I just know that the teams behind people are very strong. Do you understand?
mm,
So I can only talk on that could potentially be that. I can't say this is that because I'm not in their business. Do you know what I mean? I'm not in the
mm,
business of these people to be saying, yeah, this person's doing that or that person's doing that. And I'm not someone who necessarily like I'm not someone who wants to be center stage. I'm someone who actually
mm,
likes just being behind the scenes, working and doing the damn thing. Do you get me? Because and that's based on the perception people have on me. Do you know what I mean? So with the
mm,
perception people have on me, I know I let me just play my role, do the magic behind the scenes. When it comes to the forefront,
mm,
that's me. People will know it's me. When it comes to the forefront, cool. Other than that, I'm not searching for no fame. I'm not searching for the stage. I'm not searching for none of these things. I just make my music and bless people with the energy. That is my thing, bro. Do you get me?